people 100 years from now will look at the way we treat our environment and go, what the fuck?
What's wrong with that?
What is wrong with you guys, man? Like, this is beautiful. Why are you chopping down all these fucking trees? Like, this land is beautiful. This air is amazing. What are you doing? What the fuck? Look at these beautiful animals. They feel. Why are you slaughtering them like that? Like just torturing them to death.
But aren't our backs against the wall right now?
Lucky Boys Podcast.
We changed
now
the
you're
whole
corrupting
landscape.
the system, the overall natural cycle. It's the most simplest way to think. I feel like, a lot of climate change deniers, they don't understand that. They think we're so small and insignificant that they think we can make an influence in our planet.
Huge impact.
Where was that place? Yellowstone, where they reintroduced wolves to the environment. And because the wolves were reintroduced to Yellowstone, they were able to control the capacity of other animals that were destroying that ecosystem. And because of that, it allowed more fertilization to happen. It allowed streams to happen. There was more water present. Everything was blossoming. Life became more abundant just by introducing wolves back into the habitat.
Let's see here. It says in 1872, when Yellowstone was designated as a national park, there was a killing programs that killed thousands of wolves. This removed, however, unintended consequences for the park. So instead, the elk population grew, and that kind of changed the landscape.
It changed the whole environment.
So when they reintroduced the wolves, that thinned out the elk population, and it helped bring out ecological phenomenon known as the trophic cascade.
We're going through one of the biggest extinctions right now.
Yeah, so the three countries that use the most fossil fuels are China, United States, and India.
It's crazy that these they're world leaders. They're really not taking into consideration of what's happening today. They're the leaders on making pollutions, but they're also they're like causing, what do you call it? Well, not just the market leaders, but like the whole world. We're in a situation right now that's causing the next mass extinction. Now, if it's not just few birds dying or some animals dying, this is like animals dying in the millions. If you look at the numbers from 10 years ago to now, if you look at the numbers of like polar bear to tigers, elephants, and of course human.
Well, that's because we're taking their habitat. Is that not?
We're taking their habitat, but we're also putting pollution in their environment, like plastic. Their fishes eat plastics. Birds eat plastics. Birds get caught up in plastic. Fishes get caught up in plastic. Yeah. So what happens is, and let's say once it goes to their digestive system, it becomes microbeads, and they, believe it or not, you come back, that stuff comes back on your plate.
Yeah.
And then you eat it. And they said we, as humans, we eat now certain parts of microparts of plastic every day.
And you're saying that that's already happening right now?
Yep.
So where we created irreversible damage and these animals no longer exist on Earth?
Yes.
Because of us?
That's correct.
Which animals?
I can't give you top, but it's just not one. There's actually a lot. So
animals that went extinct in 2020?
And also
I haven't heard that because this hasn't hit any of the news cycle that I subscribe to. I haven't read anything about a mass extinction
that's happening right now. Wow.
I have heard
it's sad, but
of animals being added to the endangered species list, but I haven't heard of
mass extinctions happening.
Of animals being wiped out.
Yep. It's happening. It's sad. I am just.
It's happening, it's happened.
No, it's happening right now. Well, it's already there are some animals that did go already extinct
this year,
because
2020
to 2019, 2017, but it's because of human activity. So I mean,
like I know the white rhino is.
I mean, there's
only like one or two left.
There's a huge list of animals being extinct from 2019 to 2020. We see like the Sumatran rhino, the Chinese paddlefish, this soft-shelled turtle, the Indian cheetah.
Oh shit, the soft-shelled turtle?
Yeah, so the Yangtze giant soft-shelled turtle. So it's probably in China.
And that's because they what? because they probably kill those turtles and eat them.
Well, mass extinction means like it's a number of factors that factor into that. It's like climate change,
and
the
hunting.
habitat.
I know the rhinos
volcanic
specifically.
eruptions, like geological changes in the environment that all affects mass
To
extinction.
your point,
which is happening all over the world right now.
Yeah.
You know, and
Wow.
we're technically the cause of it.
are there any other animals?
Actually, we are the cause of it.
The Indo-Chinese tiger, the Sphinx macaw, which is a bird, Cantarina pupfish, a lot of aquatic animals as well.
What
Yeah, it's crazy.
the fuck? How come it's not like mainstream news? This is crazy.
Because
This is
I
relevant.
mean, there's
face
other,
it,
yes, other
This should hit
things
the news
in
cycle. I know,
we're
but
too busy about
like
who's
knowing
going to win the
about
president.
like what the fuck? That's crazy.
People don't understand that you mess with one type of one of the ecosystem, it affects everything else.
Like they're literally extinct. There's no more of them ever again.
Yeah. I mean, there are also animals that are on the verge of extinction.
Which one's on the verge now?
I gotta pull that up, but
Yeah, I know the
I'm
white
pretty sure
rhinos
there's a
one.
huge list.
Yo, this is terrifying. Now that hits different now.
It's terrifying. But at the same time, you got to think about. I think people are in the sense of now than what's for our children, like what we could, what we leave to our children at the end of the day, our next generation, right? And people don't
Yeah,
care about
I
it.
don't want to go to my children or my grandchildren and say, "Sorry, we used it all up. There's none left for you."
Yeah. The thing is, we could prevent it. We have the technology. We have the science.
But here's the
behind
problem.
it, but we don't want to.
It's not that we don't
Greed.
want to, is that it's not lucrative. There's no money.
There's no
in it.
benefit.
Right. If
You're
there was,
right, you're right.
It's terrifying. You know, I've never been more excited and afraid of the future than I am today.
No, I totally agree with you on that. And it's not that our planet didn't have this already. It did. It has a natural cycle. The fishes reproduce. Right now, like we're getting into a position where we're overfishing. Right. I don't know if you guys recently heard on the news that Indonesia, their government blew up some fishery from China that they were illegally fishing there, and they got to. You got to be in the extreme to blow up the ship itself. Like, okay, you're violating our waters, and just blowing it up.
Right. So in Indonesia,
Yeah, Indonesian waters.
they
They blew up the
Who?
Chinese fishery.
who blew them up?
The Indonesian government or their army.
What?
No, they blew it up. And so I'm like, that's good. That's a strong message. Like, don't come in our waters and fish, overfish.
And the Chinese didn't clap back.
Well, I mean, they were on their waters.
I mean, they were in the wrong, I guess, because they're international waters. And
Bro, you think China looks at it like that?
well, yeah, I get it. I get it. It looks
Well, I'm
like,
pretty sure.
yo,
I don't
hey,
know what's
take
the
a
overall
strong arm.
precaution.
Like they're not gonna let someone destroy their ship and get away with
It
it.
was regular fisheries, and it could be,
Oh, it's just a fishing boat.
yeah. But like I thought about 2 fishing boats that I saw on the article.
Damn,
that
that takes
they blew
balls.
it up. But I think it's
You taking my fish?
I
No, that's not gonna happen.
No, I feel bad for
If
whoever
I can't
the
have
fishery.
it, nobody can.
Exactly.
I feel bad for the people that were in the fishery. I don't know if there actually people died in there, whatever the case is. But at the same time, I'd say it sends a strong message saying, okay, fish, but there's got to be some kind of control. Our population is still growing, right? If we don't have some kind of a sustainable environment, which our planet already had, we just come in and just messed everything up.
If you zoom out, it's very barbaric. I think people 100 years from now will look at the way we treat our environment and go, "What the fuck?
What's wrong with that?
What is wrong with you guys, man? Like, this is beautiful. Why are you chopping down all these fucking trees? Like, this land is beautiful. This air is amazing. What are you doing? What the fuck? Look at these beautiful animals. They feel.
But isn't
why are you slaughtering them like that? Like just torturing them to death.
But aren't our backs against the wall right now?
It doesn't feel that way yet.
Well, you
It
had
has
the
to-
pandemic, you have
Right.
like
It has-
mass extinction, you
I
have
think it
climate
has-
change.
But you could
That there are
but
extraterrestrials.
if you go back 100 years, it'll feel that way, like the world's ending too. If you go back 50 years, it'll feel like the world was ending.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. World
So
War II,
it's
yeah,
always for that generation. For each generation, they have their it feels like the world is ending, but it's really not moment.
Are
I think
those-
for every decade, there's like
Right.
a new shit that's going on.
Yeah.
Right. But my point is when it's for real.
They all know. They even Saudi Arabia, they all know that eventually they're gonna have to give up oil. They know that. Even like in Dubai, I forgot the one of the king or one of the prime minister. He did a presentation on that. Okay, like Dubai and United Emirates, we have to start moving for our dependence on oil money. Right, everything we're doing is based on majority of the money is coming from there. So they're like, what can we do to have other source of revenue coming in? How can we be sustainable?
Time is coming. It's inevitable that the change is happening.
Yes.
So right
Right.
now they have to make those leaps or diversify.
As a consumer, it's cool to go green now and have electric vehicles. They're making it cool. Well, Tesla made it. I think Tesla made it
cool.
It's cool. So the consumer, there's a demand for it. Now the demand, there's money. There's money in this game. So now all the automakers are going, oh snap. Okay, this is the future. I can't deny this anymore. I cannot be in yesterday's game when everybody's already a few weeks ahead of me. So they're playing catch up right now.
Is either you adapt as a company or you're just like every other company.